Speaking of next steps, Jules, one man who has taken quite a few backward steps over the last few seasons, of course, is Antoine Griezmann. It's difficult, isn't it, to put up an argument as to why he's going to recapture the form that saw him as one of the best players in the world at one stage?
Yes, you're right. It's difficult. I mean, I think Joao Felix, Ali is right about, what you just explained on Joao Felix. I think Griezmann, to a certain extent, is the summary of what went wrong last season, in the sense that he didn't score a goal after January the 6th, I think, which was in the Copa del Rey. Nothing between January and May. And a team like Atletico Madrid and a player like him cannot go through such a long goal drought. This is not possible. It shows that something is clearly not right in there, that it's not working, that Griezmann himself doesn't feel like himself, and he's way too below his level. But also the team is not functioning. And I think until they find the right identity and the right players to fit that identity, whether it's going back, like Ali said, to what they were very good at before, or trying to evolve and play a bit more attacking and all of that, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for Joao Felix. It's not going to work for Griezmann. And it's not going to work for Morata or for the others defensively in midfield, whatever. We even saw Jan Oblak having a really average season for his standard last season, for example. So I think they need to recapture that. And Griezmann, of course, if they want to have a good season as well, he needs to recapture what used to make him Atletico's best player.
Let's remind you what sort of business Atleti have done over the summer when you take a look at the ins and outs in the Spanish capital. Alvaro Morata, of course, back. Saul as well, goodness me, he did nothing. Axel Witzel's come in, Molina as well. Meanwhile, Luis Suarez, of course, gone back to Uruguay. Herrera's gone as well. Looking at Alvaro Morata, Ali, he scored a hat-trick, didn't he, pre-season against Juventus. He's quite... I don't even know how you describe Morata sometimes.
He's a guy who's easily criticized. Alvaro Morata is a target for everybody, including myself. And he's an easy target because sometimes the way he carries himself, sometimes the way that in moments in which you think he's about to deliver and produce, and he's going to be that guy that you thought he was always going to be, didn't quite work out. And he's been given opportunity after opportunity by club after club after club. And there are moments in which you think, yeah, there's something there. I'm going to trust this guy. And then he goes and disappears. And it's the same thing that happens with the national team, in which he becomes the de facto starting center forward for Spain. But when we think of Spain and their prospects in the World Cup, the limitation that we always talk about is who's going to score the goals. And it's, again, a direct criticism of Alvaro Morata and his shortcomings. He's going to score a few goals for Atletico Madrid. Is he going to be a difference maker? I don't think he's the sort of player that puts him above Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Has Simeone lost his magic, Shaq? Do you think people have stopped listening to him?
I think the game has just moved on, and Ali spoke about Simeone regressing to what he always knows best. And I think this is an Atletico Madrid team that potentially is built to do a lot more than just defend and outrun opponents and grind the opposition down. But that's what Simeone does, and that's where the conflict with Atletico Madrid comes. As Ali was talking about Alvaro Morata there, and I couldn't help but think that Morata as a player sums up Atleti as a team. That at times they're brilliant, and you think, where is this? Why can't we have this more consistently? But even when they're brilliant and you look at them over the course of 90 minutes, they still leave you scratching your head a little bit, and that kind of sums up Atletico Madrid over the last couple of seasons. And I say couple of seasons, knowing full well that they won the title 2 seasons ago. But that's just who they've become. Simeone, I think, just doesn't have the nous in today's game to maintain that sustained effort.
Where do they finish, Jules?
I think they finish third, really third, because I think Sevilla have regressed, and I don't think they can push them for that third place. I don't think the rest, Villarreal, Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao, those kind of teams can't push them either. So I think they'll finish third. But I still think this is an amazing squad. And all last season, me and Ali have said, this is maybe the best squad in La Liga. This is a fantastic squad that he has. If you look at the new signings, okay, Saul is coming back, but Molina is a really good option at right back. He had a really good season last season in Serie A. You know, you still have depth. Forward, even if you lose after losing Suarez, you still have some good options. You've got variety. You've got players who can complement each other well. They should play nice football. They have the squad and the players to play good football here. So this is for me the challenge more than where they finish, because I really can't see them finishing first or second. But I want to see something in their game. I want to see something better than what we saw last season, and even better than we saw the season when they were champions, because the first half was great, the second half was dire.
Where are they finishing?
Third. Comfortably third.
Third. We don't know.
They're not really going to challenge, and they're not going to challenge up top, and they're not going to be challenged from behind.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where they are. And if they want to take that next step, then their game has to be different than what we have seen. And I just don't think, as much as I love me some Diego Simeone, I don't think that he will allow this team to just freely express who they are. He's going to take it back to run, fight, kick, foul, grind, 1-0 win, and that's how they get their points. That's enough to get them third, but not above that.
I fully agree. And the issue, again, in talking about Atletico Madrid and their position, is less about how good they are and more about who's regressed and who's had more issues than them. It's not about Atleti and their own potential, but by default, third.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.